The name which I use officially is W. Scott Westerman, Jr. The W stands for Walter, but I've never used that name except on official documents and so forth. And I recently turned 89. The reason I was allowed to skip the second semester of my senior year, there was a program that attracted people who were able to pass a battery of tests that permitted them, when I say people, boys my age, to go to school, college, for a year, and with the expectation that they would probably assume leadership positions, especially if it was going to be a long war. I never got to college on that program because the direction of the war changed, and the headlines in the newspapers said, "Scholars no longer needed, soldiers needed." And so we went directly, after our basic training, into the infantry. We were the very first division. There were 100 divisions deployed during World War II, but we were the first division to be sent back, expecting that we would be a lead division in the invasion of Japan. And so we had a month off between wars, so to speak, and it was at that time that my prospective wife and I got engaged. And we hadn't known each other that long, but that kind of thing and behavior was exhibited often, because if you came back alive and knew you were going to invade Japan, you were confident that you probably wouldn't live through that. This is a book that includes every single letter that I wrote home during my 2.5 years in the service. My best friend in the service, he's the only one who's gotten this copy of Letters Home. And he responded by saying he thought it was the best love story he had ever read, because I was constantly referring to Marcy. When Marcy died, I found every picture I could find with the two of us together, because I wanted very much, as I still want, to be reminded of her, because she was so terrific and we had such a good life together. I was reminded again and again how lucky I was. Unbelievably lucky to have had her in my life.
My name is Walter Scott Westerman III, and I am the son of W. Scott Westerman, Jr. In Ann Arbor, in the days when he was an administrator at the Ann Arbor Public Schools, that was the time of seismic cultural change, that time in the 60s. So he helped the school district really navigate some very challenging times. And he always did it with class and compassion. Gratitude, I think, is the common theme that keeps coming back in his life. And even now, whenever I talk to him, at least at some point in every conversation, he says, "I love my life."
I don't find aging to be too threatening. I lived an exceptionally wonderful life at every stage, and I've always been very grateful for that. And I'm so happy to have lived for all these years, and looking forward to the 90th. That's easier to say than 89.